Hi everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Denver, Colorado, and welcome back to All Up in Your Business. We are capping off a week of talking about online businesses. I've been posting a video every day this week going into detail about how you can start an online business from your house when you can't leave your house in light of COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic, and the fact that a lot of people are losing their jobs or their income because of it. And so in this episode, we're going to kind of wrap it all up and talk about some essential tools that you can use to start and run your online business. But before we get into it, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and check the description for some links to additional information and resources. All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the tools that you can use to help you start and run your online business. Many of these are tools that I have used myself. I have personal experience with them. I know them and like them. Some I'm just kind of familiar with, but a lot of these are going to be very beneficial in your productivity and management of your time and your work when you're starting an online business. Let's talk first about a couple of tools to get your business started, to get it up and running off the ground. First, my favorite tool for forming a business, whether you need to form an LLC, a corporation, a nonprofit, in any state, is the tool available on my website. You can form an entity in any state instantly online, very affordable. So if you're interested in that, I have linked to it down in the description. And then of course, for opening up a new business bank account, you guys have heard me talk about them before. Novo is my favorite option. It's a completely 100% online bank and completely 100% free. So if you've started a new business and you need to open up a new business bank account, I suggest checking out Novo. Again, there's a link in the description if you want to learn more about them. So you've got the business started, the LLC is formed, you've got the bank account set up. Now we need to get it out there. Get your business, get the word out there. The first place is with a good website. WordPress is my favorite platform for creating websites. My very first website when I first started my law office was on WordPress, and I'm still using it. I like it very much, and there's just endless possibilities with what you can do within WordPress. However, I've heard a lot of good things about Squarespace, which is another website design tool for you to create and house your website. Or if you're going to be selling a lot of products, either tangible or digital products, then I've heard Shopify is a great option for that too. I haven't personally tried Shopify, but I've heard good things about it and heard good reviews. If you are going about this having to create your website on your own, if you don't have a whole lot of background in web development, then a good resource for learning how to do that is where you are now, of course, YouTube. When I was trying to learn how to create a website for myself, YouTube was where I lived for a long time. You can find videos on any kind of web platform, how to design, how to create, and how to tailor what you need. When it comes to the things that you just can't do for yourself, sometimes we need to hire people for that. And my favorite platforms for finding temporary work or independent contractors to help with things are Fiverr, that's an excellent resource, and Upwork. So if you need a design, if you need a logo design or any kind of content design, Fiverr is an excellent resource for that. Upwork as well. And Upwork is great for other types of work that you might need, like more professional work. I know when I was first getting started, I was advertising a lot on Upwork and doing a lot of low-cost legal services to help the businesses and the people on Upwork. So if you're in need of other services and you can't afford to hire someone full-time or hire an actual employee, then Upwork is a good resource for finding people to help with your business too. Email marketing is a big part of running a successful online business. You want to be collecting email addresses from the very beginning, as early as you can, and because that's your audience, that's the people that you want to speak to. So when it comes to managing your email list and sending out marketing newsletters and email blasts, there are a lot of different options out there. MailChimp is a very popular one. I used MailChimp for a long time. I liked it a lot, but the interface wasn't quite as intuitive as I would have liked it to be. I found it a little difficult to navigate and find what I was looking for in MailChimp, but the features that they offer and the way their program works is really great. I did recently switch to MailerLite, which is another similar email marketing platform. It works pretty similarly to MailChimp. I like the dashboard and the interface a lot better. It's really affordable, and the templates for email newsletters are really great to use, and they have a lot of options. I've also heard really good things about ConvertKit. So I tried ConvertKit for a little while, and it didn't really click for me. I think it's best if you like to send out newsletters that are primarily text, not a lot of elements, images, buttons, clickable things, unless you're good with HTML, which I kind of am, but ain't nobody got time for that. So if you don't want to do any HTML, and if you just want kind of a simple plain text email, then I've heard ConvertKit is great for online service-based businesses and all kinds of online businesses. So it's worth checking them out too. Along with emails is social media. This is where you're gonna get all of your exposure. This is where you're gonna interact with your audience. You're gonna find your audience on social media. The more active you can be, the better. The more social you can be on social media, the better. And so how do you manage social media? It can be incredibly time consuming and stressful, trying to make sure you're posting regularly and posting the right kind of content. Hootsuite is a really popular and well-known social media management tool. It allows you to schedule posts for later, and it will automatically post to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, a number of other platforms automatically. I used Hootsuite for a pretty long time, and I liked it a lot. I recently, though, switched to Later, which is a similar social media marketing tool. It allows you to schedule posts. And the features that Later has that I liked a lot was with like Instagram, you could schedule a first comment. So if you wanted to load up your Instagram posts with hashtags, you can schedule it as a first comment to be posted along with your post. And it also includes like a link in bio feature where you can automatically add a new link to your link in bio page. Later isn't perfect. There are a few features that it's missing, like you can't create posts without images. You can't just create a text post. But if you need something like that, then that's where Hootsuite is a good option. I've also heard really good things about Buffer. I have never tried it before, but a lot of people have said good things about it and that it's a really useful tool. So worth checking that one out too. Creating an online business, especially right now during coronavirus times, means no face-to-face. We can't see people. We can't come in contact with anybody. So that's going to mean video conferencing or video chats. I'm sure you've all heard of Zoom by now. It has been around for years and years. I've been using Zoom since my business started pretty much, but it's getting a lot of news and recognition now because so many people are using it. But Zoom really is a great tool for video conferencing. If you need to have some kind of face-to-face with a person, but you can't be personally face-to-face, then Zoom for video conferencing or webinars is a really good tool. Speaking of webinars, Zoom has a webinar function, but if you're going to be doing a live webinar webinars or online webinars, then some other options are Webinar Jam. That's a pretty popular one for using webinars as well. Or kind of related, if you're going to be doing like an online course or an online workshop, masterclass, something like that, then platforms such as Kajabi or Teachable or Thinkific, those are great for hosting online courses. So if you need to provide a video and maybe some documents, some worksheets, some guides, then those online course platforms are really useful too. Some of them can be a little pricey. If you're doing something like a membership or trying to restrict access or doing some subscriptions, then if you have a WordPress website, there are a lot of plugins that you can use to create a membership site within your existing WordPress site. One that I'm familiar with and have used is MemberPress. It's pretty easy to get set up and get started. For accepting online payments, Stripe is a really good option for accepting credit card payments online. I've heard about Square too. I think that's more primarily for collecting payments in person. I've never used it, but Square might be an option. And then of course, PayPal, old reliable PayPal too. But Stripe is really one of my favorites. Or if you have an online store like with Shopify, many of those e-commerce platforms will integrate with credit card processors like Stripe or PayPal. Canva is one of my favorite tools for creating literally everything: social media posts, guides, free opt-ins, really anything that you need to create that you want to look pretty. Canva is a great option for you. It's free. You get a lot of really good features with the free Canva account, but then there's paid accounts that give you even more, but really you can do a heck of a lot with a free Canva account. Forms are something that are going to be important to your online business. If you need to collect information, have people fill out questionnaires or fill out some kind of forms, Typeform is a really popular option, and as far as I know, it's free. I haven't used it, but I have a lot of colleagues and friends who have used Typeform. And then Google Forms is available too. Again, that's free. And with both of these, you can just stick or embed the form on your website, and then people can complete them and submit them right there without having to navigate to any other kind of page or anything. Bookkeeping. When we're first starting our online business, let's not forget about accounting and bookkeeping. If you can't afford a bookkeeper or a CPA to help you with this, if you're trying to do it on your own, then it's important that you have a good bookkeeping or accounting tool to help you with it. QuickBooks Online is a classic. I've used QuickBooks for a long time, and it's really easy to use. Even if you have no bookkeeping or accounting experience, there's a lot of informational resources that QuickBooks offers, and its dashboard is pretty intuitive and easy to figure out. So QuickBooks is one option. FreshBooks is another option that I'm familiar with. I haven't used it myself, but I have researched it and looked into it a bit. It functions kind of similarly to QuickBooks, but again, this is a totally online bookkeeping and accounting platform. Wave Accounting is also a good option to look into. I believe Wave is completely free too. At least last time I looked into them, most of their features were free, but so Wave, FreshBooks, and QuickBooks are probably in the top three, as far as I'm concerned, at least, for online bookkeeping and accounting software. As far as task management or project management goes, again, lots of options out there. I've tried most of them. My favorite currently is ClickUp. ClickUp, when I first started using it, I used it primarily for task management. When I needed to get things done, I could delegate it to my assistant, Mariah, or, and you can comment, have running conversations on certain tasks. But since I started using it, it has really developed and grown more into like a project management system and kind of an internal process housing system too. So now not only do we use it for task management, but we, keep track of different projects or developments that we're working on. And then we also house a lot of our internal manuals and procedural documents within ClickUp too. It's got a bunch of other really cool features like a Chrome plugin where there's this little image in the bottom of your browser screen, and you can hit it and instantly create a new task, or you can do a screenshot of what you're looking at on your computer and add that screenshot to a task. There's a notepad function. So ClickUp is by far my favorite right now. I've heard really great things about Trello and the way that Trello is set up primarily for project management. And then Asana is another pretty popular task management program as well. I used that one for a little while a few years ago, and it worked fine. It was easy to use and did what I needed it to do, but it just, it was pretty simple at the time. It may have changed and become more robust since then. And then the last two things that I'm going to talk about are my personal favorite tools. One is Grammarly. So this is it's a program that you can download on your computer, but it's also a Chrome plugin for your browser, and it can be used within Word, Microsoft Word as well. But this is a grammar and spelling check that works on most most websites and most online apps and stuff. So if you're working in Google Docs, then Grammarly usually works there. And it's much more robust than like the Word spell check is. It looks for obvious spelling errors, but then it looks for grammar inconsistencies and other potential errors in your writing. Grammarly is one of my favorite tools. I use it multiple times a day, every day. And finally, again, since we can't leave the house, since we can't see each other face to face, or after coronavirus is gone, if we're just running an online business and we don't want to see anyone face to face, we need signatures. If you're running an online business, you still need people to sign some documents. You'll still need to get some signatures. So you need a good online electronic signature program. DocuSign is probably the most popular one, and I've been using DocuSign for a long time. Really easy to set up your forms or your agreements and send those out for electronic signatures. Adobe Acrobat has, I believe it's called Adobe Sign, but if you have the Acrobat Pro account, or if you have Adobe Acrobat, then you can add that Adobe Sign onto it too. And same way, you create the forms within Acrobat, and then you can send them out within there too and track who's viewed them and signatures and all of that. All right, so those are just a handful of some of my favorite tools for starting and running an online business. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, and definitely not a list of all of the options out there. There are really endless options, and every day, new programs and new apps are being developed. So it's worth it to do your homework, look into the different programs, compare. Almost all of them do some kind of a free trial, or they have a free version of their program available. So take advantage of those and test everyone out until you find the one that works better for you. And then remember that your business is going to change, these programs are going to change, and your needs are going to change. So you don't have to be married to one program forever. You can always switch to something else if it doesn't work out for you. That's all for this episode, folks. Please drop a comment below and let me know what some of your favorite tools or programs are for running your online business. I know personally, I want to know. I am always interested in finding out what other software or what other tech tools are out there to help me be more efficient and more effective at work. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.